Hey everyone, thanks for being tuned in to KPOV 88.9 FM, your high desert community radio in Bend, Oregon. This is Stacy Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the cosmic community. Our astrology program here Tuesdays 4:30 to 5 p.m., where I discuss the week's planetary and lunar influences, how we may be able to work within the cycles of the universe to live a more benevolent life for all. So that doesn't sound too bad to me. Thank you for making time and space in your day to receive this message. It's coming through at 4:30 p.m. West Coast, Pacific Coast time. So you'll have to do the math if you're listening in from another area of the planet or tuning in from another planet entirely, which I feel like I do sometimes. And it's okay right now to feel like we are living on our own individual planets. The energies in the sky are definitely pushing us into a little more of an introverted, introspective time. We have a little bit of a pause right now. We've had so much energy coming through this year and a lot of direct energy, a lot of really feisty energy towards the beginning of the year where we felt like we could really make some headway on a lot of new things, new projects we were beginning, really starting to kind of drill down into those things. And then we reached about April. And I'm just going to go back and sort of play us back in from April and just kind of go through the planetary changes when everything went retrograde. So, we had a really strong April. And I was saying, hey, everyone, let's make sure we're getting all those things done that we need to, that we feel like are, things that are like, begging for our attention. Let's make some headway on those because there's going to be the rest of the year, some more time where it's going to feel a little more closed off, like things aren't moving as quickly, where we might feel like things aren't coming together as fast because of some of these retrograde energies that could definitely be felt. So the very end of April, all of April had all the planets in direct motion. And the retrograde is sort of a bad-mouthed aspect in astrology. But a retrograde is when the planet looks to be moving backwards in the ecliptic from our vantage point here on Earth. Now, it doesn't actually move backwards. It's just physics and how all the spheres are moving around each other. But the retrograde represents in astrology a time when we are to go inside, a time when there might not be as big of energies available to us. So maybe that is a time to take these small energies and review them and look over some of these, events that have taken place just recently. Maybe there's a little bit of a pause that we need to take right now so that, we can have the ability to see things differently. So on the 29th of April, we had Pluto station retrograde, and that really began the retrograde of the year. Pluto's the far out planet. So for a planet to go retrograde first, it's the least felt one, but it can make the most effect over the long haul of its retrograde. Mercury is only in retrograde for 3 weeks. It's really fast. Sometimes we feel it really strongly, but not a lot happens or occurs during that time. But during a 6-month Pluto retrograde cycle, we're going to see some long-term, we're going to be able to see those things over the long term. So Pluto really faintly started the retrograde activity the 29th of April. And then in May, we had a Mercury retrograde, but then on the 4th of April, we had Saturn station to go retrograde. And Then I'm in April, May. I just got a little ahead in my book here. So on the 4th of June, we had Saturn stationed to go retrograde. And then in the month of July, on the 28th of June, we had Neptune go retrograde. So between the end of April and the end of June, sorry, I got a little mixed up there, but we had three outer planets, three big planets go retrograde right in those 3-month phase there. Going on to July. In July, we saw Chiron station retrograde on the 19th. Chiron is the wounded warrior. This is where we go inside and really check out our wounds. Those immortal wounds are represented by Chiron. And so we were again, getting this opportunity to go inside and review some things in regards to our health and these immortal wounds that we carry in this life. And then on July 28th, we had Jupiter go retrograde. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, felt very strongly. And so by the time that we had August come around, the last planet in this sort of phase to go retrograde on the 24th of August, Uranus. And so we have had quite the journey from April to August. It's been quite a slowdown. It can feel definitely like we're not making a lot of headway, but we have the ability to sort of reach out, look off to the right and look off to the left and not have that tunnel vision moving forward, but yet, we can see in the periphery a little bit better. So, moving into this week, the last couple days of August, and moving into September, just such an interesting time. As the seasons change, we're going to feel like going internal a little bit more even too. So this slowdown, this pause is really, supported by the seasons and by the way that this is all flowing. And so moving into this week, on August 30th, Mercury is in the shadow phase. And so Mercury is going to be stationing to go retrograde soon also on September 9th. And so that is still next week on Friday, September 9th. But we are in the shadow phase and Mercury is starting to slow down. Mercury, like I said, these retrogrades happen a few times of the year, so we're quite used to them. We should expect that mercurial things are going to slow down also. So that means that Mercury represents our mental state, our mind, the way that we think. And so our thinking may start to slow down, might be wondering, why we're kind of like losing thoughts in the middle of them, because this is a sign of Mercury retrograde. This is a sign of Mercury slowing the mental body. And so on September 9th, we'll see Mercury go retrograde. But on kind of moving into, I guess, the month of September, because I am going to be doing here very shortly, once I get done discussing this week, which doesn't have that much more to it, I am going to be doing a full September monthly astrological breakdown. So make sure you got your planners out and everything ready to make some notes about the rest of the month of September. But, we roll into September slowing down already, pausing, taking these times to reflect and revisit some things over the past few months, that everything kind of went by so fast, we didn't get an opportunity to reflect on something or to really see how something has taken shape now or has really shaped us. And so we really roll into September with that slowing energy and the opportunity to be a little little more introverted. I got 4 all over my clocks here. This is Stacy Dredd, Galactic Ambassador in the cosmic community. I discuss the week's planetary and lunar influences. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for me, you can send me an email at thecosmiccommunity@kpov.org, or you can contact me through my Facebook page at The Cosmic Community. I've also got a YouTube rolling. So if you like to roll through your YouTube videos and you like to listen to these reports, a second time during the week, or maybe even a third or a fourth time, you can do that on my YouTube page. And so moving into the month of September, this brings so many changes for the year, because we do always have the equinox on the 21st. It's on the 20 this year. The equinox is on September 22nd. So that is also known as the Libra equinox. In the southern hemisphere, of course, they're moving into their spring. So here in the northern hemisphere, we're going to start to see the leaves change colors and the seasons change. And Libra is represented by the scales. It's represented by the by somebody holding the scales, really. And so this is an opportunity when we're sort of on the fence, right? We're sort of seeing both sides. We're coming out of summer, which is like a really extreme part of the year, and we're moving into where we are starting to consider, we are balancing out, moving towards the darker parts of the year. And so on September 4th, we have Mars entering its shadow phase. Mars is the planet that goes retrograde least. This only happens once every 2+ years. Mars will go retrograde on October 30th and will be retrograde until January 23rd. And so we definitely will have our eyes on this 6 months. Really, it's a 6-month cycle from the beginning of this and Mars entering the shadow phase to when he leaves his shadow phase after January time. So Mars rules our bodies, rules our physical bodies. Mars is represented by the warrior. So this is where we find our courage and our strength. It's very much a masculine energy. Again, with our physical body being represented by Mars, we could start feeling even more of this retrograde energy with our physical bodies actually starting to slow down. And that's what I was mentioning about how these retrogrades seem to fit in so well with the cycles of the seasons this year. It's not at all, based on that calendar, but with Mars really slowing down, our physical body slowing down, this could be quite the we could be in like some extreme hibernation this winter. I just have a feeling. On September 5th, we have Venus entering Virgo. Venus is, our feminine energy. Venus represents our money, our love, our trust, our relationships. Virgo can be a little tough energy, because Venus, she's just all about loving everything and like appreciating everything for what it is and the beauty that it brings to the world. And Virgo energy can sometimes be a little bit perfectionistic, I should say. And this can get a little bit caught in the Venus vibes of just wanting to kind of be like a big melty heart of love, So Venus in Virgo shouldn't be too bad, but we can definitely see this bringing a little bit of perfectionistic vibes to our relationships. We could see each other maybe being a little nitpicky on each other in relationships. And I don't mean just romantic relationships or your husband or your wife, but this is like your friends and your children. And so when Venus is in Virgo, we just want to definitely just be careful of being too nitpicky of those people around us who we love very much. On September 9th, we have Mercury stationing to go retrograde until October 2nd. I'm not going to talk about this right now. I'm going to talk about this later because I want to make sure to finish the September breakdown here. On September 10th, we have our big full moon in Pisces. And this is always a big puddle of emotion. We still have Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So anytime that we are accessing Pisces energy right now, we need to know that it's in rare form. Neptune in Pisces makes that a very strong energy. And so anytime Pisces energy is coming through, we can just connect to the spiritual because that is represented by Pisces, the spiritual realms. And so we're really going to be diving into the ocean of our spiritual realm on the full moon in Pisces on Saturday, September 10th. And then, as I was saying, just a real slowdown time because we don't really have much going on until the fall equinox on the 22nd of September. Just a beautiful time to recognize that we are leaving the bright sun and we are moving into the darker sun of winter. We're moving into our hibernation phase, but the equinoxes are always that time in between where we are looking at it gone halfway and approaching halfway, and we are literally at that center point. And so this is a great time to check in with the balance in yourself. Where is your yin? Where's your yang? What do you need more of? What do you need less of? And then we have our new moon on Sunday, September 25th. This is the new moon in Libra. Libra is energy of relationships. Libra is energy of justice. Libra brings justice and fairness and tips the scales to equality wherever she goes. And so the new moon in Libra will be an opportunity for us late in September to make some new intentions around how can I be more fair to myself and the people around me? How can I show that I appreciate justice, right? Just how can I dive into the realm of this great ability for Libra to have fair judgment and discernment. And so this new moon in Libra, we're going to have plenty more time to feel the energies as it approaches. And then we fast move into the last week of September, and Venus is entering Libra. So the whole month of September, we see Venus in Virgo, and then towards the end, she moves into Libra. We will be into Libra season then also, so the Sun and Venus will be traveling close together, and we should definitely be able to access a little more of these balanced relationship energies once Venus reaches the sign of relationships, Libra, on September 29th. And then sort of just looking ahead into that first week of October, I just want you to know that Mercury goes direct on October 2nd. And then we've also got Pluto stationing to go direct on October 8th. And so we kind of see a little bit of a shift in the energy there, moving into October. And October will be another month that will definitely not disappoint. So, really interesting watching the yearly energies move through. Right now, we have Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter, Chiron Uranus retrograde, with Mercury stationing pretty soon and Mars also. So wow, what an intense time to just go inside and just hang out there. There's like nobody but Venus going to be hanging out in her direct fashion. And so that should be pretty interesting for all of us. Another thing that I guess I could just point out is that we still have Uranus traveling with the North Node, opposing the South Node. The North Node of destiny brings into our lives things that are destined to reach us, things that are unavoidable in our lives. The North Node will bring and put right in the forefront of our lives. Uranus is the planet of change and of awakening and of enlightenment and of sudden, instant, spontaneous eruption and change. So we can still be seeing a ton of like, didn't expect that. Oh my gosh, where did that come from? Energy on the daily right now, because of the North Node and Uranus being in such close proximity. So do take care of yourselves. And I hope that it's a good week, and I hope that you roll into September feeling a little more just ready to bring on the astrological weather. So be well, be good to all the other people around you also, because we are all subject to these energies. And I will talk to you next week. Stacey Dredd out. Peace.